Motion carries. Mr. Ballantyne is the clerk of the school board. Appointment of deputy clerk of the Warren County School Board.
I would make the recommendation that Buck Smith continue as the deputy clerk of the Warren County School Board, and for the same reasons. He does a bang-up job with everything he does, including the deputy clerk, which he stands in, I think, that one time, 2 times.
Is there a motion?
I would make that.
Second.
We need a motion from the board, or
You can just,
you had a recommendation?
I
Do we
made
need
a recommendation, you just can make the motion.
Make a motion.
Yeah.
Someone like to make that motion?
So, I make a motion that Buck Smith is the deputy clerk of the Warren County School Board.
Is there a second? All those in favor, aye? Aye. Motion carries. Thank you. Appointment of school board representative on the Mountain Vista Governor's School Board. I know Donna, I had previously been on the Mountain Vista School Board, and due to another obligation, I was unable to continue last year, and Donna stepped in. And you would like for me to jump back in now that my obligation is finished, and I appreciate you taking over for me and helping out with that. So unless someone else would like to be on the Mountain Vista Board?
No, I would move that Ms. Bauer be our appointee, our representative to the Mountain Vista Governor's School Board.
Second.
All those in favor, aye? Aye. Motion carries, thank you. Appointment of 2 school board building committee representatives. I think right now, Mr. Rosen and Mr. Williams are on the building committee.
We're on a roll.
Okay.
I would move that Mr. Williams and Mr. Rosen continue as our representatives to the Building Committee.
Second.
All those in favor, aye? Aye. Thank you. And appointment of designee to attend meetings of the school board in the absence of the division superintendent.
I'd make the recommendation that Melody Shepard is able to do that role, and I'm not able to do it.
Is that good with you, Melody? Okay, is there a motion?
Madam Chair, I move that Melody A. Shepherd be appointed as the designee of the superintendent to attend meetings of the school board in the absence or inability of the superintendent to attend for the period of January 1st, 2019 till December 31st, 2019.
Second.
All those in favor, aye? Aye. Motion carries. Thank you. Next item on the agenda is to accept or modify the agenda. Is there a motion?
Madam Chairman, I move that we accept the agenda as presented.
Second.
All those in favor, aye? Aye. Motion carries. Community participation. Is there anyone who would like to address the school board? Consent agenda. Is there a motion for the consent agenda?
Madam Chair, I make a motion that we approve the consent agenda as presented.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor, aye? Aye. Motion carries. Reports. Moving right along. Superintendent report. Mr. Drescher.
All right, thank you. I don't have a long report this evening. I just would like to wish everyone a happy new year and to remind everyone that one of the things that we try to do in Warren County Public Schools is practice gratitude. And certainly a new year is a time for each of us to think about the things that we all are thankful for. I have many things to be thankful for, and among them is to be able to serve the students and families of Warren County and to help educate those that need it most. So, and that is my report.
Thank you. School board reports. Mr. Williams?
Madam Chair, just a happy new year and look forward to another year with you at the league. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Rosen?
Yeah, Happy New Year to everyone. Looks like it's going to be cold for a little bit longer, but spring's coming. Hopefully we can get there. And I did try to leave some oysters down near Chesapeake Bay over Christmas and 2 more days after that.
Did you go get them yourself? Or did you just
No,
pick them up at a store?
I was
Yeah.
fortunate enough, the father of our county administrator always comes up
Oh.
here, and Herb brought me 3 quarts of
Oh, nice.
big ones.
I guess that's nice.
Oh, it is, it is.
Mrs. McKeithern?
Just the same. I wish everybody a happy new year and just happy to be here.
Thank you. Mr. Wells?
Happy New Year, happy second half of the year. As the teachers come back, I think tomorrow, report back, and the students report back Monday. And hopefully, this will be a good year. It may be a tough budget session, but we will do our best. And we're not perfect, but we do the best we can for the students.
Thank you. And same here, Happy New Year to everyone. I hope they have a healthy and prosperous new year. Action agenda, approval of 2019 school board meeting calendar. Mr. Drescher.
Policy BCA requires the time and place and dates of regular school board meetings to be set at the annual organization meeting. According to policy on file, KDE meetings of Warren County School Board are to be held on the first Wednesday of each month beginning at 7 p.m. and the third Wednesday of each month beginning at 5 p.m., except during July and December when meetings are scheduled only for the first Wednesday of the month. The attached proposed schedule follows this guidance with the following exception. The meeting normally scheduled for Wednesday, November 20th of 2019 has been moved to Tuesday, November 19th, 2019, so as not to conflict with the annual VSBA convention, which is November 20 through 22, 2019. The July meeting is scheduled for Wednesday, July 3rd, 2019, the eve of Independence Day. If this date makes it difficult for members to attend, the meeting can be scheduled for another date in July.
Any discussion on any of that? Anyone?
No? Need a motion?
Sure.
I move that the proposed 2019 school board meeting calendar be approved as presented.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor, aye? Aye. Motion carries. Thank you. Approval of resolution authorizing payment of compensation. Mr. Ballantyne.
Good evening. The next couple items are things that we look at each year for your approval. They're resolutions that allow the school division to operate. The first one is that we would have a resolution that would authorize payment of compensation, which is very important to the operation of the school, that our employees are paid in a timely manner. The Code of Virginia, as well as school board policy, provide for the drawing of special warrants for the payment of compensation prior to school board approval if the school board has by resolution authorized such a procedure. And that's what we're asking you to do again this year, and ask you to do that on an annual basis. The procedure allows for the payment of all employees and school bus operators under written contract, and also the payment of all other employees whose rates of pay have been established by the school board and for whom certified timesheets or other evidence of services performed have been received. And those pay rates that have been established were done when you approved the budget. Right after that, back in early May, you also approved the salary schedules, and in those salary schedules are the hourly rates, daily rates, whatever these part-time employees would be paid by. So that's all in place, and we would ask you to consider approving this resolution again to allow us to continue to pay our employees on a timely basis. Be glad to answer any questions you might have.
I don't have any questions. Anyone? No. Is there a motion?
Madam Chairman, I move that the resolution authorizing payment of compensation be adopted as presented.
Second.
All those in favor, aye? Aye. Motion carries. Thank you. Approval of resolution authorizing payment of bills in emergency situations and in months with only one school board meeting. Mr. Ballantyne.
Okay, and now this one's very similar in nature to the one you just did, which was for the payment of salaries and compensation. This is one that in certain cases would allow for vendors, suppliers, folks that we do business with as a school division to be paid prior to a meeting, but only in very specific and certain cases. By far the vast majority of bills that are paid come to you first and are approved in the clerk's report, which you just did a little bit earlier in the agenda tonight. But again, the Code of Virginia and school board policy allow for the drawing of special warrants prior to the school board approval if the school board has by resolution authorized such a procedure, and that's what we're asking of you this evening. Throughout the year, there are circumstances where it is advisable or even necessary to issue a payment prior to the next school board meeting. These types of circumstances may include such things as the payment of utility bills, debt service payments, insurance bills, contractor payments, credit card bills, emergency parts or supplies that must be paid for at the time of delivery, etc. And in these cases, a delay in payment may incur additional costs such as finance charges, late fees, things like that, or may affect the normal operation of the school division. So we're asking that you approve this resolution again this year, and each time we do that, we still put those items on the clerk's report so you are aware of what we have paid on behalf of the school board in advance of your approval.
Any questions or discussion? No?
Madam Chair, I move that the resolution authorizing payment of bills in emergency situations and in months with only one school board meeting be adopted as presented.
Second.
All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Authorization to advertise public hearing for fiscal year 2020 budget. Mr. Valentine.
Each year, we come to you and ask for this request to authorize the advertisement for the budget public hearing. The Code of Virginia requires that school boards hold at least one or more hearings 7 days, at least 7 days prior to adopting a budget. Notice of such public hearings shall be given at least 7 days prior to the date set for the hearing and shall be advertised in a newspaper having general circulation in the locality. So we are recommending this year, as has been the practice in previous years, to hold that public hearing for the fiscal year 2020 budget at during the February 6th, that should say 2019 meeting, not 2020 meeting. It is further recommended that in case that meeting is canceled due to inclement weather, the public hearing would be held at your next regular scheduled meeting, which would be February 20th of 2019. So we're asking, we could have waited maybe till the next meeting to ask you this and still had time, but we wanted to have enough time to get it into the newspapers and meet those requirements of having it be published at least 7 days in advance of that meeting.
Okay.
I know it's not germane to this resolution, but do we have a preliminary date for the Board of Supervisors joint meeting or anything yet?
I do not.
To this point? Yeah. Madam Chairman, I move that authorization be given to advertise for a public hearing on the fiscal year, is that right, 2020?
Yes, that is correct for the fiscal
2020
year.
budget.
2020 budget, the February 6, 2019 meeting, with the understanding that if this meeting must be canceled, the public hearing will be held Wednesday, February 20th, 2019, at 7 p.m. in the School Board Administration Building.
Second.
All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Approval of additional appropriation requests. Mr. Valentine.
In order for the school board to receive and spend $238,137 in either unanticipated or unbudgeted revenue, an additional appropriation must be received from the Warren County Board of Supervisors. The unanticipated revenue results from the receipt of a number of grants, a couple insurance adjustments, and increasing the budgeted amount for materials necessary to repair both county cars and also the county HVAC systems, for which the school board provides the service and the parts, and then we're reimbursed. A detailed breakdown of the request is attached. I will say on the county one, that's something where we never know, and I don't think they probably really know how much it's going to take as far as parts, and we estimate it, and we probably estimated a little bit conservative, and this year we've already come in very close, just halfway through the year, to what we estimated for the whole year. So it's sort of in and out money for it. It really doesn't affect our bottom line to any great degree, but we do need to have that added to the appropriation so we don't exceed our appropriated amount. I'll be glad to answer any questions you might have on that one.
Mr. Ballantyne, I do have one question. I
Sure.
just don't know what, under travel, it says PBIS instructional. I don't know what the PBIS stands for.
Positive Behavioral Intervention Supports.
Okay, I wasn't sure if
It's
I had
a,
that where.
it is a program, I guess the federal government has initiated pretty much nationwide through state education departments, and it provides a number of ways which we can provide positive reinforcement to, for behavior amongst our students.
Okay. I just had no idea what it meant, sir.
Nice job, Rob.
Now you know why he's a clerk. Man with the answers.
It is written out up there under number 2, under revenue, at the very top of the page.
Is it?
Yeah, the number 2.
See that?
Oh, no, I did not. I wasn't looking at what was coming in. I was looking at what was going out.
Well,
Sorry, sir.
No.
Little bit
in
of
case you
age
forget
mixed
what
in
that
too.
acronym is for.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, make it grow and it's,
You need a motion.
Yes, please.
Madam Chairman, I move that the Warren County Board of Supervisors be requested to increase the school board's fiscal year 2018, 2019 operating fund budget by $238,137.
Second.
All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. First reading of 2019-2020 Program of Studies. Mr. Fox.
Good evening and Happy New Year to each of you. We began working on the program of studies in October of 2018. It is a task that takes a while. It is in essence complete with the exception of the index, and I'm going to wait a while just to make sure there are no last changes because the page numbers does take quite a while to change. And tonight we want to highlight the new courses and some of the changes that are coming to the program of studies. We have 2 new middle school courses that will be offered next year. Career Investigations. This course allows students to explore career options and begin investigating career opportunities. The course will also help students identify and demonstrate workplace skills that employers desire in their future employees. And that's a very important thing for our kids to have. The second new middle school course is called Make It Your Business. Students will design, establish, and operate a small group or class business, producing a product or a service that meets an identified school or community need. Emphasis will be placed on the introduction of business terminology, basic entrepreneurship, and those concepts, and fundamental business principles. So those are 2 new courses for our middle school. 2 courses that we anticipate offering in 8th grade. We anticipate offering Latin 1 and French 1 to our 8th grade. There's a correlation between the demand at the high school level and being able to offer at the middle school level. Without offering at the middle school level, sometimes there's not as large of a demand at the high school level. So it is our intent to offer those. New courses at our high schools, both of our high schools. The first one would be Horticultural Sciences. There is a prerequisite of Introduction to Plant Systems. Students are taught the operating procedures for a greenhouse. Units of instruction include developing plant production facilities, science application in plant production, and the identification of plants. So that's horticulture sciences. A new math course is called Math Capstone, and this would be a course that students would take after having taken Algebra 1 and Algebra Functions. The course description: the course is a capstone course that focuses on providing students with the instruction to meet or exceed college and career performance expectations. Students will do mathematical tasks, work on inquiry-based projects, and solve problems collaboratively. A new dual enrolled class, and this has been a very exciting opportunity for our kids. This class is going to be one of our gateway classes to the health and medical science classes, so we're very excited. Anatomy and Physiology. The course description: the course offers detailed and rigorous study of the formal structure and function of the human body. Topics will include anatomical terms, cells, chemical processes, and the 11 body systems. Again, this will be a dual enrolled class at both Warren County and Skyline High School, and it is much, much needed and much anticipated that it's coming to us. A new class, this will be dual enrolled at Skyline High School, is History of World Civilizations, number 1, World Civilizations 1. The course surveys the history of major world civilizations from the ancient period to the 16th century. It will present a definition of civilization along with the governing principles, characteristics, and trends in the development of the major civilizations of Asia, Africa, Latin America, and Europe. They will emphasize social, economic, cultural, political, and geographical factors. There is, for our science courses, there's going to be an emphasis this year on a course that we've been offering called environmental science, and there's actually going to be a change in the progression of courses. The vast majority of our students this year will be taking environmental science. The purpose of the new environmental science course is to provide foundational content that will prepare students for either earth science or for biology, while including aspects of other disciplines such as civic engagement, mathematics, and engineering. And this has another effect. This move to earth science in 9th grade will will stop our students from having to take 3 SOL courses as 9th graders. So what will happen, they'll take their SOL in biology. So the sequence for students would be typically in 9th grade, they would take a math and a history SOL. In 10th grade, then they would take biology. And then 11th grade, the reading and the writing. So it spreads the standards of learning tests out a little bit for our students. We have made a change to a course name. Meteorology is now going to be called Earth Science 2 Advanced Topics, and this will allow us to continue to offer meteorology as a science credit. We have some other things that are being added to the program of studies, and these are coming from our Virginia Department of Education. CPR and first aid is added to graduation requirements for this year's sophomore class. And so we're actually teaching these courses now. Students shall be trained in emergency first aid, cardiopulmonary resuscitation, and the use of automated external defibrillators, including hands-on practice of the skills necessary to perform cardiopulmonary resuscitation. This requirement will be met for all students as part of the Health and Physical Education 9 curriculum. So we're making adjustments to our curriculum now to make sure that happens, and we are catching up a little bit. We are about half of a year behind, but our physical education teachers have been catching the students up, and we'll be ready for their graduation. A physical activity addendum has been added under graduation requirements. Beginning with the 2018-19 school year, a program of physical activity will be available to all students in grades kindergarten through 5, consisting of at least 20 minutes per day or an average of 100 minutes per week during the regular school year. A program of physical activity will be available to all students in grades 6 through 10 with a goal of at least 150 minutes per week on average during the regular school year. And then it explains some of the different ways that students will be able to meet those physical requirements. A statement has been added to the program of studies that speaks specifically to our senior class. Seniors are required to be scheduled for a course load of at least 5 credits in order to complete their high school studies. This will give them an opportunity to explore other course interests and to meet the mission of being prepared for the workforce and/or higher education. Seniors must take courses both semesters of their senior year. Next up in the program of studies, we have some updates to the Mountain Vista Governor School program. And Mountain Vista Governor School offers 2 science-focused options: physics, engineering, or biology and life science. Students will make a selection of a focus area during their 10th grade year, which is their first year at Mountain Vista Governor School. Prerequisites for Mountain Vista are geometry and algebra 2. Also, biology is highly recommended. but not required prior to acceptance at Mountain Vista Governor's School. So when I said earlier that the majority of our students will be taking earth science in ninth grade, obviously there are some exceptions, and students that would like to go to Mountain Vista will be allowed to take biology in the ninth grade. And those are the additions to the program of studies. This is the first reading, and I wonder if you have any questions.
I like the addition of anatomy and physiology.
The person who's going to teach that class is very excited to be able to offer it. And Jane Baker is very excited. It's been a collaborative effort with us and with Valley Health. And
I think anyone going into the health field, if they can get some of that in high school, it certainly prepares them for the college level courses,
Yes.
which are real intense, and you're getting into gross anatomy.
Absolutely.
So I like that they're getting that now.
Right, and the endowment helped us out with that.
Yes, absolutely did. With tens of thousands of dollars worth of equipment. You're absolutely right.
Okay,
So you don't,
thank you, Mr. Fox.
you don't need a motion.
No, not on this. Not at this time. Stay where you are. Approval of the Jenna Grace Lee Scholarship.
Thank you. Stephanie Lee is a Mary Kay independent beauty consultant in the area, and she has proposed a new scholarship called the Jenna Grace Lee Scholarship. This scholarship donation is the amount of $500 for a female who is pursuing a 2- or a 4-year degree. The spirit of this scholarship is to encourage the dedication and education of young ladies who will make a difference in the lives of others. The eligibility requirements, besides being a female, must be pursuing a 2- or 4-year degree and must graduate high school with at least a 3.0 grade point average. This scholarship will be offered to students at Skyline High School.
Who is Jenna Grace Lee? Is that her daughter, or
It was not explained to me.
it's not? Okay, I just didn't know.
It was not in the explanation.
Well, I'm happy
But
that
I'd be
someone's-
certainly be happy to find out.
What's that?
I can find, I have all of our contact information.
Okay, well, I was just curious.
Yes.
I didn't see an explanation of that. Well, it's nice that someone's jumping out and offering more money for our students.
I'm glad you said that, Ms. Bauer. But we actually have scholarship proposals that are coming in throughout the community, and it's really heartwarming. I've taken a role in that this year. And many community members, sometimes businesses, sometimes just individual members of the community. And to make, that first year or first few years of college more accessible to our students, it's really quite a service they're doing for our kids.
And we get quite a few scholarships.
Yes, we do.
Students.
And there is room for more.
Oh, absolutely, always, yes. Is there a motion?
Madam Chair, I move that we approve the Jenna Grace Lee Scholarship with gratitude.
All those in favor, aye. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Fox. Approval of security grant purchases. Mr. Brandt.
Whoa, here we go.
Good evening. The Warren County Public Schools would like to purchase security equipment for E. Wilson Morrison Elementary School, Skyline Middle School, and Ressie Jeffries Elementary School. This will purchase security cameras for these schools with money that we got from the or was awarded from the Virginia Department of Education's School Security Equipment Grant Program. The materials for this part of the project will be $58,196.10. And the funds for this project will, of course, come out of the security equipment program, but the services and materials are being purchased through the state contract. Do you all have any questions?
Will this get those schools in alignment with our other schools as far as security goes?
Yes, it will. So we do an assessment every year, and then, the principals and a team look at the schools, and they decide whether, what needs to be added, or if, and then we have also a team in our technology department that takes a look at the age of the equipment, and some of them are just starting to die out. So we're replacing a few, but we're also adding additional ones. So our biggest need right now is Skyline Middle. We just need more. There's too many areas. We need more areas. So yes, this will bring it up more towards what Warren County Middle School is like. They have lots and lots of cameras, so.
Okay. I was under the impression that when we did the remodel of Resi, that was included, but that wasn't the case.
No, we just did wiring, and that mostly took care of PA system, which is also part of, the security grant, but we're just doing a few PA system needs at E. Wilson this year.
Okay. Any other questions for Mr. Brown?
I'm not gonna ask you what 10 cents is.
I rounded.
In the right way. Go
Right.
Madam Chair, I move that approval be given to purchase security equipment in the amount of $58,197 from ABS Technology.
Second.
All those in favor, aye? Aye. Motion carries. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you.
Grant. Is there any further business?
One other, just a question on the recruitment of facilities to replace Mr. Rowley. I'm sure Buck's probably already
Yeah,
working on it.
It's been advertised, and we have received a number of applications. I know we're going to be taking a look at those this week, see where we're
Right,
standing.
It's been in the Winchester Star, the Northern Virginia Daily. It ran 3 days in those papers. It's been on our website. We have received roughly 8. I was still checking on my computer before I left here. Between 8 to 10 applications at this time. So.
Mostly advertised, obviously, I guess, in our community, don't
In our
go much further. Don't go ahead. Because we got a big investment in facilities, and be interested to get the best we can get. Mr. Holly did a fine job. Okay, thanks.
Any further business? No? Meeting adjourned.